Hi everyone, this is Neve here from the Mama's Hip, and I've got a quick beauty haul for you today. I will start with my favourite beauty line at the moment. It is the Essence brand, and I have gone and bought two more of their Stay With Me long lasting lip glosses. I bought this lovely pink colour here in Me and My Ice Cream. It's a lovely, it looked like it was going to go on opaque. It's actually quite sheer on the lips. You see it there. It's a really natural pink. It just gives a tiny bit of colour but lots of gloss, and it smells really nice. The next one is called Trendsetter, and it's more of a kind of a fuchsia colour, but it comes out, I was wearing it earlier, comes out nice. It gives a good bit of colour onto the lips, and this does last long. When it wears off, the shine goes, but it still leaves a bit of a colour on your lips, which I really like, and it smells like sweets. It's gorgeous. They're $2.29 or something like that. You pick them up in pharmacies, and I think Pennies do them as well. So I really recommend these. I have it in bright coral as well, and I would never leave the house without these now. Just throw them in my pocket. Also from Essence, I got another one of their lipsticks. This one is called number 44, Almost Famous, and it's a red colour, kind of a pinky red. I wasn't delighted with this. It doesn't really suit me as much as I had hoped, but the formulation is nice. It's quite moisturising, quite glossy on the lips, and again it fades off and leaves a little bit of colour, which is nice. So I mean, for $2.30 or $2.20 or €2.20, you can't go wrong either, so that's a good one too. I also bought a felt tip eyeliner pen. This is by Essence again, and it's just in black. I had been dying to try one of these for a while. That's the swatch there. And I actually put this on this morning, and it's lasted a good 12 hours. It looks pretty good on. Been dying to try one of these. Been watching some tutorials. I looked at Beauty Crush's winged eyeliner tutorial recently, and I just thought it looks like a really nice, actually maybe it was the Persian Babe. Anyway, they both go in for this look, and I've always used the Rimmel, what's it called? Exaggerate, I think, eyeliner, which has a nice long brush, and it's a real traditional kind of dip it in type thing and paint it on, and it takes ages to dry. What I like about the felt liner is it dries much faster, and it's kind of more precise when you're applying it. You've got less, it's less apt to kind of wobble and go off the line. You know, you're more precise. I don't know how else to say it. It's more precise anyway when you're applying it. So I really like this. I was a bit skeptical would it give you the same coverage as the paint on thicker stuff, but it actually does. It's pretty good. Another buy that I was really happy with was Collection 2000. I featured this in my blog a week ago or so. I was looking for a purple, I wanted a kind of an opaque purple cream. I was really hoping to get like a dairy milk colour purple, and I bought this. I didn't want a metallic colour. This is called Parma Violet. It's number 44 of their Hot Looks Fast Dry range, and this gives really good coverage. Even one coat did me well actually, and I put on two just to be sure. And the colour when it came out, it looks really dark purple in the bottle, but when it came out it was almost navy, which I actually loved, but it didn't give me such a purple colour. So I went ahead and I took another blue, really thin formulation, kind of a royal blue nail varnish I hadn't been using much, and a L'Oreal Jet Set red lacquer, which comes in this kind of a bottle, and I mixed the two. I added the blue into the red and shook it up, and it gave me the perfect dairy milk purple shade, which Irish girls will know all about dairy milk bars. And that colour purple is really gorgeous, really deep and really rich kind of a colour. And for some reason the two nail varnishes that I used, even though I never wear them in their original states because they never last long, whatever happened, whatever chemical reaction, it just came out with the most amazing formulation for this purple. This is day 5 and I've still got that much on my nails, and they look manky. But up to yesterday they were actually looking really good for 4 or 5 days, and there was barely any chipping the first 2 days. No top coat or anything, no base coat, I just slapped it on. I put on 2 coats. So I was delighted with that. So that's a little tip if you ever If, like me, you've got loads of nail varnishes and colours come in and out of fashion, you buy things on a whim, you don't necessarily use them, try mixing them together. But always add the darker colour to the lighter colour. That is the trick, otherwise you're going to have to, you can't work backwards basically. So you can control better how the colour goes. Sorry if I sound a bit brain dead, I've just been breastfeeding for the last hour, so my logical side of my brain still has to kick in. Anyway, I hope you can follow this. I also wanted to give 2 regrets that I regret buying, because these are really annoying me. Well, one of them is, this is something I bought a few months ago. This is not so annoying to me because it wasn't that expensive. It was still about €5 or €6. This is the Rimmel Exaggerate eyeliner, which I was just talking about. And it's in a brown colour, which I wanted a brown. I thought it might look nice for day. I'll just show you how it applies. You can see that. It's a really deep brown. The colour is fine. It's just a really nice, almost black actually. But what I hated was this. Can you focus there? What I hated was this felt tip on a stick. It just doesn't work. When you put it on, the actual point of the felt tip removes a lot of the colour as it's coming on. Well, it does on my eyelids anyway. So you have to keep going back over it. I have their other one, which is a longer tube than this, and it's black. The brush in it is an actual brush, and it's really fine and long. That gives really good coverage because the brush is so soft, but I found this was too hard of an applicator tip, so I've never used this, and I'm really annoyed about it. I've taken it out a couple of times and tried to apply it in different ways, and it's just never worked for me. So that's annoying, because I don't like wasting things. I don't mind if I buy them and I like them and I don't use them much. At least I do like them. I will go back to them, but when they just don't work, it really pisses me off. So too was I annoyed with this. This is Clinique Anti-Blemish Solutions Clearing Concealer, and it's in colour, it's shade 01. So I will just swatch this for you. This has an active ingredient. I think it's salicylic acid, and what you're supposed to do is apply it over the blemish, and it clears up the blemish as well as concealing it. Okay, the colour's fine. I previously had a lovely Clinique concealer stick, which was a really thin one. It looked like an eyelash. No, sorry, baby brain. It looked like an eyeliner pencil, and it was a twist up one, so you just get a little bit out the top every time you twist it up. I loved that because, number one, the colour was perfect for my skin. It was really pale, and normally I'm really pale unless I'm wearing kind of bronzer like this today. Number two, what I loved about it was, this is the previous one now I'm talking about, it was such a small tip, and it was really thick. It was like a lipstick, or like, the Rimmel concealer that you get, which is in lipstick form. So it was really thick cream. You dab it on. It's only a small tip, maybe 3 millimeters wide, so it's perfect size for a spot. You just dab it onto the spot, tip it with your finger, and it's instantly blended in. You wouldn't even have to blend it in sometimes, depending on how much foundation you have or where the spot is on your face. So I went back to repurchase that, and I loved how it had the salicylic acid in it too, so it clears up the spot as you're doing it. It kind of dries out the spot, and you'll notice, like, at the end of the day, the spot has gone kind of flaky and hard rather than being full of pus. Hopefully not too much information for you all. So I went to repurchase it, and they told me it was discontinued and they had this instead. This cost like €22, and there's loads in it. There's like, how many mils? It says here there's 10 mils in it, which is a huge amount for such a strong product and such a, it's got a really small tip, so you only need to use a tiny bit every time. This would do you like 2 years if you wanted. And the girl convinced me to buy it. I was kind of saying, well, it's more of a liquidy formulation. Is it going to give as much coverage? She swore by it and said it's fantastic. It's improved on the last one, it's even better. So I bought it and thought, well, I don't spend that much on makeup anyway. I normally buy cheap brands, and I know the previous one works, blah blah. Sorry, I'm rambling. To get to the point, because of the way it's in a tube, it's really hard to apply. You don't apply it straight on the spot, because if you do, it looks like you're piping icing onto your face and you end up with a little mountain of this. So you must apply it kind of